Hello! Hello, everyone. I hope you are all having a wonderful night. I know this is not a stream anyone was expecting to see. But I have recently been playing a game known as Rogue Fable 3. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I just wanted to do a small stream for it. I don't know why is this acting like that? Sorry, it's not capturing the whole thing. That's really weird. Okay, let's close that out and let's do this specific window. Switch to Rogue Fable 3. Click in here. Crazy. That's just not working. What if I change this? It's also not getting the whole thing. Okay, weird. I'd say I can just do display capture. That'll be kind of what we have to do. Yeah, game capture A. Wait, hold on. What the What are two game captures? That's really weird. Okay, hold on. Let me turn that off. Let me change this one to Rogue Fable 3. It's going to capture? No, because it's not acting like a game. So I'm going to get rid of this. Because I feel like that shouldn't be a thing. And I'm going to keep this one for the future. But I'm going to change this. Everything else needs to be locked because it is acting up. Okay, so we're just going to do display capture, and that's fine. It's giving me, is it giving me everything? It doesn't feel like it's giving me the whole thing. Oh, well, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Anyway, as I was saying, I know this is a out of the blue stream, but there is kind of a reason why I suddenly came upon this game and have very quickly fallen in love with it. And I will admit, it is very situational with my current obsession. Of course, you know, because of my camera filter, it's like, oh, we never want to let people see what's in your hands, Lucas. There we go. So, because of my recent obsession with my AYN Thor, this game has become very special to me. So, I was to give you a little bit of insight about what got me into wanting to play this game, and arguably not even just this game, but games like this. So when I got my AYN Thor, and I started setting it up, I had a lot of ROMs. You know, I have a lot of real games that are available on it. You know, just again, gotta go back in and change that camera filter if I want to show this. Yeah, so, like, I know it's going to be hard to see, but, like, I have a ton of NES games. I have a ton of Super Nintendo games. I have a ton of, why do I have 2 Super Nintendos? Oh, I know why I have 2 Super Nintendos. I do know why. One of them is not even going to work. Yep. Hold on. Delete? No, I don't want to delete custom section. I technically arguably want to hide one of them. But anyway, I have, you know, N64 games. I have GameCube. I have Wii. I have Switch, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, Sega Genesis, PlayStation, PS2, PSP. I even have Steam games on here, such as Bleak Sword. I have Curse of the Dead Gods. I have Gods Will Fall, which actually plays really well on this thing. But I also have some Windows games. Specifically, I have a game. I should be able to, I think I still have it saved on my PC. Hold on, let me pull this up. Should still be in my downloads. Yeah, I do. So, I have a game that I am able to play on my AYN Thor, which I will just say Thor from now on, just because it's a mouthful, and I know that. But I have this game, which is Dungeons of Infinity. It's a Legend of Zelda game. And when I had my Retroid Flip 2, I wanted to play this a lot, okay? I really enjoy this game. I think it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, of course, unfortunately, it didn't work well on the Retroid. It just was laggy. It you know, shuddered. Was very hard to play. Now I could play that here on my computer. I could stream that from my computer to the Retroid, but that's not the purpose of having a device, you know, again, like this, okay? Now, again, this stream is not about Dungeons of Infinity, but this was the game that I started testing the Thor on, and when I realized that it ran exceedingly well, I realized that I could probably do that with some other games. Now, arguably there are ways to do that. Like there's an app called Game Hub that just allows you to download Windows games and Steam games to your handheld. I personally used an application called Winlator, which essentially creates a Windows environment in your Android device. So because of that, I was able to run this with no issue. It plays phenomenal. I don't have to be connected to the internet. It just works. And I will tell you what, it was great the other night because I went to my niece's Christmas concert, and I did listen to the concert before you start to judge me. But beforehand, while everybody was getting seated, I was playing Zelda. You know, I was playing this. And this is arguably my favorite way to play Zelda. I do like Breath of the Wild. I like Tears of the Kingdom. Like, those open world ones are incredibly fun for what they are. But this old school version, I don't care much for, like, the open, I don't care for like the exploration and stuff like that, like in the open world. I like the dungeons in The Legend of Zelda. And Link to the Past was my first and only game. Yeah. So like that's more or less what this is based on. But this is only Legend of Zelda Dungeons of Infinity is just randomized dungeons. You know, you're in Hyrule Castle, you're going down through different stages. You can see on the right, there's 12 different floors, and your whole thing is just going through here, finding keys, finding, you know, rupees, buying stuff. There's like vendors every now and again, surviving and beating the bosses and just getting to the end. And that's it. Like, this is what I love. And so I started thinking to myself, you know, what if I could have a game that was like this, but was D&D, you know? How can I combine my two joys in life, D&D and procedurally generated dungeon crawling roguelikes? And so I didn't know what was really out there in the world. And I did what most people in today's world are doing, at least the degenerates like me. I went to ChatGPT and I was like, hey, I have this idea for a game. And it's like, you know, I'm like, I kind of want a D&D, and I want this and I want that. And, you know, it's basically like, okay, did I get a key somewhere? Oh yeah, I did. And so like, I basically, you know, told it everything that I wanted. And it's like, okay, so let's look at the core concept. A D&D SRD powered roguelike Game Boy dungeon crawler. Influences from Link's Awakening, the tile-based pixel art movement, The Binding of Isaac, which again, a game that I did enjoy, room-based roguelike encounters, Shiren the Wanderer, procedural dungeons, and loot. So I was like, okay, I don't know what Shiren the Wanderer is. And I looked into it, and Shiren the Wanderer is a game that is actually kind of old. At least the series is. And it's what is called, and if you play any games, you might actually know the genre just by the name, but it's called a mystery dungeon game. And I didn't know that, like, that was really a, like, genre. Like, I've always heard of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Like, that was a thing that I was very aware of. I apologize that my eyes are looking down at my phone. I'm trying to find in the message between ChatGPT and I where the next part of my story is going. So I was like, okay, you know, let's check out this Shiren, because again, never knew about it. And I looked into it, and I actually did end up buying it, but then I got my refund. But Shiren the Wanderer is a game that is in what is called the mystery dungeon genre. And again, I was only tangentially aware of what that meant, but it is kind of everything that I wanted with what I was looking for. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's move on. Essentially, you go into a mystery dungeon. It's randomly generated, and in it, different monsters, different loot, different dungeon, or like bosses and stuff. And you are exploring through it, but everything is turn-based. So when you take a step, the enemies take a step. Now, at first I was like, I don't really care much for this because it seems too it seems a little too more RPG than what I was looking for. And it was also very in-depth. Like, there was so many things. There was 30 tutorials on how to, like, learn all the different things. And I was like, I can't even with this. So I kept asking ChatGPT, you know, we were talking about, like, you know, what are some other things? And so I eventually brought up, I said, you know, based on your just out of curiosity, based on what you know, is there a game like the one we're discussing? A dungeon crawling roguelike with D&D class-based aspects, you know, all these different things. And I said something with the random dungeon feel of Dungeons of Infinity, but with the class-based character system like D&D. It doesn't have to be D&D specifically, just like a fantasy dungeon crawler. And it mentioned a couple games. Again, games I wasn't aware of. So one of the ones that it mentioned was a game called Overture, which I looked into, and I was like, okay, you know, this, like, that character just looks super familiar to me. But this basically plays like a Vampire Survivor style, where you are attacking yourself, but the room is just randomly generating monsters just constantly. And there's a ton of different classes. You can go through the dungeons, you can, you know, rescue your friends. There's a multiplayer aspect to it and everything. And I was like, okay, this seems interesting, and it's only like $5. Like, sure, I'll pick it up. But as I was, you know, looking through, it recommended some other games. There was one called Rampage Knights. Which I think the problem with this was I didn't like the art style. Yeah, I didn't care much for this art style. I was like, this is not at all what I'm going for. Like, I didn't like this. And I kept, you know, it gave me a couple options. It gave me this one game called Ancient Domains of Mystery, which was like, it was ASCII art. So here we go. Yeah, ADOM. So instead of it being pixel art, it's like this, which I was like, yeah, no, this isn't what I want. There is one that it is like the original ASCII. It gave me another game called Brogue, which is just, I don't even think it was like even on here. And then it tells me, you know, a couple other ones. It says the classic Sword of Fargle, which I don't know if that was on here. Yeah. So, like, this is, I mean, and this is where we're starting to get, like, old Atari level of graphics and stuff. So I wasn't super into this. And then it brought up the mystery dungeon type games. And so I was looking through it and, you know, trying to take, you know, what it could. And then it brought up a game called Rogue Fable 3. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's Rogue Fable 3? And I looked into it, and it was like exactly what I was looking for. Now, granted, I will admit, it does have the mystery dungeon style of turn-based, where when you move, the enemies move. But there is kind of like a free aspect to it where you do have free movement. And as it states here, it's a traditional roguelike game which combines the depth, complexity, and challenge of the genre with a shorter, more tightly focused game length. And again, it was only like $10. I'm like, sure, you know what? I'm going to grab it just to see. And I have very easily fallen in love with this. on my PC, but also because, like Dungeons of Infinity, this game runs so well on the whatchamacallit, on the Thor. And since it is whatchamacallit, here, let me go. Since it is so lightweight and it doesn't require an internet connection, what I did was I went into Steam and I just went in and I browsed the files, and I just copied this entire folder into the download folder of my Thor. And in the program Winlator, I moved that folder into Winlator's file structure and just ran it. And while it takes a minute to load, and some of the things in it do run like a tad slow, it arguably does just work. I'm pulling it up right now so you can see. There it is. It's just a little loud. So yeah, you can see right now. Oh God, of course. We gotta jump back over and adjust the camera. Here we go. So you can see right now, it is playing on my Thor, and I can go in and start up a new game. And again, I'm not streaming this to my computer. I'm not doing anything, but it is now, it takes a minute to load, but it is now running Rogue Fable 3 on here. So again, I've had a good opportunity to play it. I've put like 3 hours into it at this point. And I just sort of wanted to share the game, you know, with folks. There is a fourth one that has recently, or that came out a year ago. I only just bought it tonight. I'm going to try it out tonight. But the thing that I want to state about all of this is that in order for me to play this in the most comfortable way for me, because this game does not have native controller support, I did have to go in and set up a controller layout for this setup. So like, I know it's kind of hard to see here on the screen, but like, for example, the right stick controls the mouse, the left stick and the D-pad controls like the direction. So left stick is WASD, the D-pad is just technically up, down, left, right. It doesn't really matter. Clicking in the left stick is the U button. Clicking in the right stick doesn't do, or is the left mouse click. Left trigger is left mouse click, right trigger is right mouse click. The left shift is, or the left bumper is shift, right bumper is the M key, the back button is the C button, the start button or menu button is the escape key, and then A is space, B is E, X is Q, and Y is Z. So it's really weird, but at the end of the day, it works. It works for me, and I have my Thor set up the same way, because in Winlator you can set up different input maps for your controller, so I have that set up the exact same way, so I can play them both in the exact same way. But yeah, like I said, it's a ton of fun. I'm going to play a little bit of it. It does take a minute to, to set up, and like, what I had to do was I had to go in and like figure out what controls I needed. Like, for example, you can play this with no mouse, because you can use a numpad and you can use, like, you know, QWEASD for like all of your, you know, abilities and stuff. Again, there's no native controller support, so luckily through Steam input, I can address all that myself. But it's fantastic to play just with a controller. So the way that it works is you have 8 different races. So you have humans, ogres, trolls, fairies, gnomes, mummies, gargoyles, and vampires. Humans are very basic. They're just kind of, you know, even across the board. There's nothing special really to them. Ogre gets a buff to their strength, which means they get added HP. They also large, so they have added HP, but they are slower, but they have no max encumbrance. You know, eventually, just like in D&D, you can carry too much and you're slow. Trolls are also large. They also regen their health faster, but they also go through food faster, because the way this game works is you can rest. You can essentially take like quick rests and short rests in the middle of this, but it uses food in order for you to do that. Oh, no. Sorry, I looked over. I forgot I had Mountain Dew. No. And it's pineapple flavored. Weird. It's Mountain Dew Infinite Swirl Pineapple Berry. Oh, it's really good. The thing is, the trolls also have a -5 resistance to fire, so you're a little bit easier to be burned. Fairies are small. Same with gnomes. So it means they lose some standard HP, but fairies get a bump to their dexterity and their evasion. They also fly, and they get enchanted items on odd levels. Gnomes also get that size benefit, or that size decrease, but they have increased intelligence. They also gain plus 5% ability power per intelligence, and they get extra talent points at every level multiple of 4. Mummies no longer need hunger, but you can't consume potions. You're also immune to poison and poison clouds. Again, also, you know, kind of vulnerable to fire damage. Gargoyles cannot regenerate health, but every level that you go down, you just get a full heal. You're also flying. You also have some added protection, and you have a bit of a resistance to shock and toxic damage. And then vampires also cannot regen health normally, but if you step on blood, you regain health. Additionally, you get temporary bloodlust from blood, granting increased damage. I will admit, I am very favorable to the Gnome Storm Mage, but the classes in general are Warrior, Barbarian, Rogue, Ranger, Duelist, and then you have 3 flavors of Mage: Fire Mage, Storm Mage, and Ice Mage, and then you have a Necromancer and an Enchanter. Now, I have only played with a couple of these. I've done Troll Barbarian, or no, I did, what did I do? I did Ogre Barbarian, I did a Human Warrior, and I've done Storm Mage a couple times. You can see right here, I have 14 deaths as a Gnome Storm Mage. Yeah, haven't really done much else. Yeah, I did one run as a Fire Mage. I think I played through, one as a Fairy Rogue. But we're gonna jump in. We're gonna play a little bit of this because again, took me a little while to get to my point. But yeah, so this is the game. It's a pretty simple layout. You have your map up here on the top right, which you can use to move around. And then you also have your items over here on the right. You also have magic spells. You have like abilities and stuff. So, and then, yeah, so we'll just scoot around. Now, one of the things that you'll see that I do is the E button is the explore button. So if we go into controls, you see there's the explore button. And when I first started playing this, I didn't know what it did. If you press that button, your character will move to the nearest unexplored square until you either find something of interest or until you come across an enemy. So if you see me moving around, it's going to be like, you know, slow one square movements. If you see this, that's me pressing the B button and doing auto explore. Also, these are fire shrooms. They will explode if you step on them. You actually have to press a button in order to move onto them. I usually just ignore them or blow them up. Rat's Nest. So, the way this works is you can use your mouse and highlight a creature. As long as you have them within line of sight, you can hit left trigger to attack with your melee weapon, right trigger to attack with your ranged weapon. So I can right click with my staff, which does at max 9 damage, but it is randomized. But there's also the option to press the Q button on the keyboard, which does auto attack, and it just attacks the nearest enemy. I have that bound to my X key on my keyboard, on my controller, so I can just press that and it does what it needs to do. Ooh, sweet, I got a buckler, which gives me a little bit of protection. Yeah, so that was Explore. You can see how it moved me through all of this area where there was nothing of interest, and the moment an enemy comes into sight, that's where it gives me back control. I love that. I love that feature. This game is literally what I wanted, other than not having, like, you know, like more D&D centric races like elves and dwarves and, you know, stuff like that, or goblins. This is everything that I wanted. This is the dungeon crawler. It's randomized. It has class, you know, does have class features. It's pixel art. It runs perfectly on a handheld. I love this. I love everything about this, and I just want more of this. He's gonna walk on that and it's gonna blow up. Oh, he moved diagonally. Okay. Nice. Okay. So this is a mana regeneration fountain. My standard staff does not require mana, but my my lightning spell down here in my hot bar, that does. It's been out a few years, kind of. Yeah, you know what? I will admit, I never knew this game existed, and I'm very upset that I only now just found it. But it kind of works in my situation. Again, having it available on the Thor, where, like, if I'm at work and I'm on my lunch, you know, and I'm waiting for the cash report to finish, you know, processing, and I have 5-10 minutes, usually I would grab a bite to eat. But like now, I can turn this on, it's up and running, and I can do a quick dungeon run. All right, now we got some ogres. And we are gonna cast lightning bolts. Bitches. So if you hit an enemy while they are while they don't see you, I believe it's always a crit. So I'm not sure, but I believe that is the case. All right, what do we got here? Nothing. Okay, so at this point, and again, I sort of love this game because of this explore feature. So now, if I press the B button, it says exploration complete. I have seen every square of this map There is nothing more that is of interest other than that like pool of mana regeneration. But just to show you how that works, so if I go up here and I use this, you'll see in the top left, it now says restoration 50. And every square that I move, it ticks down. So that means I have 50 tiles that I can move before that runs out. So it really does me no benefit to if it's like that far away and I don't need it to go and get it, but I just wanted to show you how that worked. All right, so Wizard Yendor, I think, is the main enemy. I don't know, I haven't gotten that far. How many of you fools will we need to kill before you get the message? The goblet is mine. My minions are still cleaning up the mess we made with the last dozen would-be heroes. At least my disposable guy is good. Every 9 bodies and the 10th is free. Okay, also, up on the top right, you can see I have 5 different bars. There's speed, which is, you know, sprinting. There's mana, which obviously casting spells. There's HP, but there's also food points. So as I'm walking around, every 80 steps, I will eat 1 food. And as long as I have food, my health can regenerate at a rate of 1 HP per 10 turns or 10 steps. So I can also hold shift and press the space bar, or in my case, hold left bumper and hit A, and it actually waits 10 turns, and it uses 1 food, but it fully recovers you. So that's what I was saying before, that it has like a D&D rest mechanic. So if I get into a fight like here, I can, you know, just move on, or I could hold left right now, left bumper and hit A, and it would fully restore me. But I'm actually going to come up here and grab this, which is, ooh, cloth gloves. Hell yeah, that's going to increase my mana. Fuck you, bitch. Okay, this is something else I love about playing as a storm mage. Environments affect how your spells interact. So he's in the water. It's not going to be as climactic with him. If there were other enemies in the water, when I cast this spell, it traces out in like a circular pattern. If there were other enemies around him, they would have all taken that damage. And I love that. And there's areas in the map, like in the first one where there was grass or vines on the ground, those are affected by fire, where you can set those on fire and it'll burn the area. Ice also has an effect where it slows and can freeze water and trap enemies. All right, we got some, an ability score improvement here. So we're going to increase our intelligence because that increases our primary damage. So, fuck you. Ooh, glyph door. Okay. It's freaking bats. What is this? We got a wand of fire. Shoots a ball that explodes on impact. So one of the things is that you do have to have line of sight on where you want to hit it. So because I can see this bat, I can attack him. This one, because there's a bat in front of him, I can't. But I am going to use that right there. And then I'm going to use lightning. And then I only have 2 to deal with. And I got a potion of healing for it. What's in here? Bears! Fuck. Oh! Oh, there's a mouse, too. So the mouse heard all the commotion and decided it wanted to kill itself on a fire shroom. Oh, there's mice over there. Oh, okay. So no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. This was the first time I ever accidentally did that. But so that level, obviously you saw there was like walls I couldn't go to, but there was that big pit. If you jump into the pit, you will descend to the next level in a random spot. Like you can see, I'm not at the stairs. I'm literally right at the exit. But I took a lot of damage, so now I have to heal. So I'm gonna hold left bumper, press A. I'm fully rested now. I lost 1 food, but I full health. So I'm gonna cut my losses and move on. Ooh, we have a bat that's, what is that? Oh, it's a vampire bat, okay. Yep, and we got the Ring of the Vampire. Nice. Now we got life tap. Oh, bitch. All right, I'm actually going to I'm gonna rest. There we go. And then I'm not gonna use my potion of healing, which actually gives me +3 to my max if I use it while at full health. Okay. Ooh, Scroll of Fear. Wasn't... Oh, nice. Nope. Oh, I might die. Oh, thank God. Okay. I was so afraid I was going to die. All right, so now I have a talent point, and I am going to use this since I can't do shock. I can do shock next time because I'll need to increase my intelligence. I'm going to increase my lightning bolt because that'll increase the range of my lightning bolt. Good. I got food. I needed more food. I only had 1 left. Okay, so you can see that my character just said he was hungry. That means I'm down to 3 food points. I can just eat, you know, the meat, and it'll be fine. Ooh, okay. Okay, good. So they summoned a sword. I don't have good range on that, but I should be able to, yeah. And then maybe with this now. Fuck. Oh, perfect. I should be able to now... No, do I not? Yeah, because of him. That's fine. Burn some mana. Now, use that. Magic spell. Magic. Yes, bitch. Drink that. Another zip zap. Totem of Intelligence. That's new. Can be placed in melee, ranged, or shield. And oh my god, yeah. Dude. That increases my intelligence by 2. Holy shit. That's the first time I ever got something like that. That's awesome. Oh, oh my god, I didn't even realize these guys down there. Well, that uses all my staff. Hey, I got meat. Oh, there's a rat's nest. Whoa. So I will admit, this is the longest run I've ever had. I've actually never made it this far. Usually most of my runs in this are like 5 minutes at most. Or, I mean, like 2 levels and I die. Okay, this is awesome. So I'm going to take shock. I'm going to increase my intelligence one more time, because that increases my mana and my ability powers. And I'm going to take shock. Shock is great because it like hits a bunch of the enemies around the other enemies. Very nice. Picked up some javelins. Got some meat earlier, so happy with that. And now we're heading down further, or as far as I've ever been. I've only ever been to this stage once. What is that? Meat rack. Interesting. Okay, let's... No, I don't want to use that. I want them to be next to each other. There we go. And lightning bolt. Okay, there we go. That's it. He killed me. My level 4 Storm Mage was killed by an ogre in the Undergrove. At this point, again, this is kind of why I love this, okay? I can view my character, see what he had, you know, be all boohoo and whatnot. I can replay the same type of character. Fucking hell. Goddamn bots. Or I can go back to the main menu, make a new character. And you know what? I think I want to play as a troll barbarian. Now, what screams barbarian more than eating too much food? So with this, I have an ability called Charge that allows me to dash towards an enemy, and if I hit him up against a wall, it actually does extra damage. But also, the axe has a cleave ability where you can hit 3 enemies directly in front of you. All right, that's good. Give me the buckler. What do we got? Scroll of Domination. That is actually really good. Ooh, experience fountain. Oh my god, I still have... Fucking hell. Yeah, so there you'll see I'm targeting 2 enemies. I didn't realize how much the melee character doesn't let you do quick attack. Arguably, I can just walk into them. I keep forgetting that. It's the Explorer feature that has you move quickly. Yeah, it's okay. So I will admit it is fast, but there is also the slow move. So if I hold control and hit E, the character only moves as long as you hold it. I like the whole idea of just like pressing the button and he just moves, but you can hold the control button and then hold E. And as long as you're doing that, they'll move just like tick by tick. We're gonna increase strength, obviously. I like it because it makes it so that you know... Oh, God. I like it because it moves you to an area you may not expect to move to. You know, like, because it knows where the nearest unexplored tile is, and it knows where the next point of interest is. Oh, God. It just makes it so much easier to do that. So that was a scroll of enchantment. It gives me a +1 on an item. Bitch. Get back here. You don't really lose track of the character because it's always just right there. So it's never really anything you have to... And plus, you can keep an eye on it in the upper right corner because you are the green square. So, you know, like, that's arguably just an easy way to keep track of that. I better find some meat soon. We attack in the morning. Oh. Oh. That's not good. I was about to say, I think I'm going to die there. All right, so arguably, haven't played it, but I do want to give Rogue Fable 4 a try. All right, so first off, we need this in... So game, check out the... I'm okay. I don't need it. Toggle full screen. Thank you. Keyboard snap. Use explore. Use switches. Okay. All right. So use stairs. I need to bind to M and X. Explore is E. That's good. Oh, go to healing shroom. Go to fountain. That's smart. That's fine. That's fine. Oh, melee. Oh, that's why I didn't have, because I have that bound to tab. I didn't have that set to Q as well. I should do that. Those are fine. Yep, okay. I did the M and X, yeah. Toggle equip menu. Okay, so everything else should be okay. But what I need to do is I need to go in and set this up for Rogue Fable 4. I need to set up a controller configurator. Here we go. Yes. Okay, good. Is everything... No, everything is not. So this needs to be the C button. That's fine. This needs to be Q. This needs to be Q. B needs to be E. Y. I think Y needs to be U. Left bumper needs to be left shift, and right bumper needs to be M. The D-pad, this needs to be up, down, left, and right. Trigger, left click. No, these need to be reversed. I don't like that it does that. This needs to be right mouse click. This needs to be left mouse click. Right thumbstick needs to be joystick mouse. Left is fine, and left click. I forget what that is. And I don't really care. I don't think I use left click enough. Okay. Good. So that's good. All right. Standard game, rank game, or danger school. So the mushrooms look a little different. There's also different kinds of mushrooms now, I see. All right. Oh, we have a bard and a summoner now, too. Also, the characters look a little different. And we have a centaur. That's awesome. What is game settings in here? Oh, so we can do, like, easy mode, hard. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so... Oh, and some of the abilities changed as well. All right, so Ogre now gets only a +1 to strength and a -1 to intelligence, but gets more, but is getting more HP per strength. Troll is also 40% faster food consumption, so it's not as insane. It also has innate HP regeneration. Interesting. So -1 food when eating shrooms. Interesting. The fairy gets a bump to its max HP. Fairy has 50% max HP. I'm assuming the gnome does too. Yeah. It also doesn't have that bonus to its dexterity. The gnome isn't getting the same bonus to its intelligence, but it still has its bonus for that intelligence, and it gains talent points every level now, which is insane. And what's the centaur? +1 dex, 2 times speed point regen, takes double damage when unstable, cannot sprint over unstable terrain. Interesting. Well, I'm going to play as my classic gnome storm mage. Oh, cool. I have my health and my my mana on me. Oh, I also have a lot less mana now. How much mana does this use? It still uses 4. Wow. I can't use that nearly as much. What are the... Oh, whoa. I get different abilities with these. Charging. So the damage is decreased, but it hits multiple enemies. Base damage is multiplied by the range with 4 times damage at 4 range. Wow. Stun. Okay. Arc. Select each tile in the path. Double-clicking the final tile will dump the remaining damage. Oh my god. That's 100% what I want. And extended increases range. That's really cool. I really like that. All right. You know what? I'm gonna turn off. Is that what that was? Yeah, okay. I didn't like that on there. Oh, am I just not regenerating health from resting now? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not. I guess that's where something like the find some healing shrooms. Oh my fucking god. What? Yes? Oh, the green mushrooms. They heal me. The blue ones let me blink. That's so fucking cool. What does the white one do? Block mushrooms. Restores block by any points beyond will be added. Oh my god. Dude, that's sick. And I can only assume the purple ones restore my mana? Oh my god, that's awesome. So, okay. So that's why the troll now states that it has innate restoration, because now this doesn't. But there's a bunch of healing mushrooms and mana mushrooms and shit like that. So I gotta be worried about the fire ones. Fuck you too. What is power? Okay. Increasing my intelligence, and I want arc. Okay, so what does that mean? That's so cool. So I could go bam, bam, Basel. Fireball. And it's recovered. That's so sick. Hey, guess what, bitches? Fuck you. Oh, interesting. I see block. The block eventually goes down. Oh, you now get 100 steps on the regeneration pool. That's cool to know. Ooh, okay. What was that? Hell yeah. I got a Warhammer. That's awesome. All right, so there's the downstairs. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I have line of sight? Damn it. So I dig that the railroad tracks can be electrified. I do not want to go there. I need to heal. Okay, so this also explains why the troll gets -1 health when stepping on healing mushrooms. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2. Yeah, bitch. Meat. I also really appreciate the fact that the healing mushrooms are denoted on the map by green squares. That is really good to know. Hey, pal. Yeah, go ahead and berserk. I don't give a shit. I should probably spend that. Shroud of Wind surrounds you. Yeah, so this protects me from projectiles. That's actually in the third one. That is actually... Mana increase right now would actually be really helpful. So this still requires me to have 14 intelligence or be level 9. Fuse with the power of the storms, restoring your mana. You have a single space around you. You must have a single space around you. Water tile. Interesting. I think I'm going to take Burst of Wind, because then this lets me push enemies away if I need to. Death Fog. The fuck is that? Okay. Okay. We're in a bit of a predicament. I was just about to say, we're in a bit of a predicament. Let's replay. Let's replay Storm Mage. Bam. Picked up a piece of equipment. Yeah, no shit. I just saw that. Duelist. You will riposte attacks when blocking. Well, I don't block, so it doesn't really do me much good. Oh, that's right. That was the blink. Ooh, chakrams. I can throw those. Nice. All right. 4 times the damage at range. Range is 4 Damn it, I kind of want that. But I'm gonna drink this potion. What up, bitches? Alright, well, that was anticlimactic, to say the least. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Yep, as I clicked the button, I'm like, oh wait, I'm on the tracks. What's the highest level? Okay. I think that other one, that one that I did just a little bit ago, was the furthest I ever made. It was like level 4. But see, that's arguably, that's kind of the beautiful thing about this game. Like, it's not meant to be something where it's, you know, like a long drawn out adventure where you're, you know, putting, you know, 2 hours into a run, or where, like, even the fact that I don't think there's like a meta progression with the game. You know, as far as I'm aware, you know, unless there is something that you get for like a class race combo when you finally beat the game with that class race combo, I legit don't know if there is anything like to be had from like beating the game. Because like a lot of roguelikes nowadays have meta progression, and what I mean by that is when you fail, like as you go through the mission or as you go through the dungeon, you will collect some kind of resource. Let's say that it's a gemstone, okay? And for every gemstone that you collect, that is a currency to buy some kind of upgrade in the hub world or in the menu that makes every run you do after that easier, simply for having those upgrades. As far as I know, oh my god. As far as I know, this game has nothing like that. My understanding of this game is that it is simply you progress as far as you can. When you die, and that's it. You know, and it's like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. Thank God. Okay. So, I mean, it's, as far as I know, it's one of those things where, like, hey, you are just trying to see how long you can survive, and that's just it. You know, there's nothing else beyond that. And again, that's kind of the thing that I've really enjoyed about this, because it's not something that I have to worry about, like, you know, oh, I went through this run and I didn't get anything, or like, oh, I need, you know, so many of these to get this thing that I want. Oh my God, yes. That's fantastic. Yep. Because, yeah, like, the only thing that I know, like right here, win the game with the Gnome Storm Mage, win in under 60 minutes, win in under 45, win twice in a row, win 3 in a row. And it is very specific. Like, you know, it is to each combo. And because there's 9 races and there's 12 classes, I mean, that means that you have, you know, what is it, 100 and... No, it's, fuck, 9 times 12. 108. I don't know why I couldn't do that math. You have 108 different combos. So, like, my thing is, something like this is, again, this is why I really like it, because it's fast. It's nothing. There's no commitment to this, and that's why, well, on my PC it is fun to play. It is so much more for me on here. Like, having Rogue Fable on my Thor as something that I can open up, have up and running in less than a minute, and, you know, jump into a run where if I have 10 minutes, okay, I can do 2 or 3 runs if I die fast enough. But even if I don't, then awesome, cool. I save my state on that container in Winlater, and I just reopen it next time, and that's it. I want to try the Gnome Summoner. Summon this. Duration 6. Interesting. What does that do? Oh, Staff of Magic Missiles. Cool. Okay, let's... I'm very curious about this. Okay. Oh, yeah, we need to... Wham Bam Basil. Wow. Whoa, what was that? Arcane Staff Bolt? That's sick. Mana of Winds. Interesting. So what is my Cyclone Strike? Summon a Spectral Blade. Clicking on the blade will cause it to perform a Cyclone. Interesting. Summons a Temporal Spectral Spear that will move and attack enemies up to 2 miles away, or 2 tiles away. Nice. What else do I have? Increase mana. All they have extra. Ooh, that's good. Summon a shield. Summon an item. Oh, it creates a scroll of accurement. That actually might be really good. I don't know. I kind of want to buff this. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do that. All right. Let's see what this does. Actually, I want to see what my arcane bolt staff does. I did not do that. Cyclone strike. Okay. Oh, wow. It only goes 2 squares away. Damn, that is powerful, though. What the fuck? Oh, I'm gonna die. Yep, I was gonna say, I'm fucked. But yeah, so, you know, I know this has been a weird, you know, kind of tangential stream. Oh shit, I saw Dungeons of Infinity playing. You know what? Screw it. We're gonna play this. We're gonna play this until I die. I'm sure these handholds makes me want one. Yeah, so here's what I will say. Like, old school Nintendo games, that is arguably, you know, incredibly easy to just have access to. Like, there's different apps that you can get that are called front ends. And the way that it works on Android, so like I'm running Trinket OS. It's an operating system that is kind of designed more. I know it's really blurry and I apologize for that. But it's like kind of designed to be a little bit more video gamey. But there's a front end called Emulation Station. And the way that I have mine set up is with this sort of like scrolling style where I can go through all the different categories that I have. But like they have ones that look a little different. This one's from a YouTuber called Tech Dweeb, and I watch a lot of his stuff. But basically, if you like, you know, old school Nintendo games like, you know, Super Nintendo or whatever, it's very easy because they are so accessible. The file size are so small. They have like full on ROM setups for them. Here, let me do this real fast. There we go. Yeah, this will be a little bit easier to see. So like, you know, I have a ton of games that are from, you know, Super Nintendo, from the NES, and you know, you do have to set it up a little bit. Like there are steps you have to take to get it set up. But like once you have it set up, oh God, my God, I didn't even know I had this. Like there's an app called RetroArch, and it runs a lot of these old games. So, for example, oh, of course. Oh, cool. And of like fully on Trinket crashed. Oh, I hate when it does this. So, like, arguably that is one of the things about these devices. Like, it does take a, you know, you do have to put a certain amount of setup into it. Here, let me pull up one that I know is working because I was playing it the other day. Yeah. So I have the volume down. Yeah, so there you go. You know, now just playing there we go. Playing Mega Man Zero. Obviously I haven't played this. I mean, I have actually played it on another one. Close this out properly. Why is it not closing it out? Oh well, just do that. Make my life easier. So now, I personally am not like huge into old retro games. I have a ton on here. It's not what I use it for. What I mainly use this for is, if obviously I'm using it a lot right now for Rogue Fable and Dungeons of Infinity, but there are two main apps that I use. The first is Artemis. This is an app that is paired with an app on my computer called Apollo. This allows me to stream my computer to here. And I can launch Steam with this. I can launch Play Night with this. I can also just access my desktop. So now I have my desktop on my computer. If I move this down here, look at that. Now my whole streaming setup is on my computer. You know, is on my my whatchamacallit, my Thor. If I start a game on my computer like this, the audio is now coming out of this. And this controller is making it so that I can't control it. But if I didn't have this controller hooked up right now and have it set up, this would be controlling it. I use this more than anything because if I'm at home and I want to be, you know, downstairs in the living room with my family, I can still play Skate. I can play anything. I can play Sephiria, anything like that. And it's just the save that I have on here. But the other game, or the other app that I am trying to get to, like, you do have to do a lot of work to get some of these to set up. But there's an app called Game Hub Lite. And what you can do with that is you can install Steam games and Windows games directly to the device. And I brought this up on another stream, and I think it was like Ms. Roy or somebody who asked how that worked. I found out that it essentially runs a version of WinLater, and it just is designed for like specifically to work with games. So there's a lot of things you have to do to set up. Some games just don't work, like no matter how many times you tweak it. In other games, you have to go and you have to tweak like what their driver settings are, what the graphics settings are. But arguably, some games do just work incredibly well. An example for this is the game Gods Will Fall. And I actually streamed that game on the first 15. It was that one where you play as a group of characters and you go to like locations on a big map, and then you go into that dungeon and you play through it with that character, and if they die you can send someone else in and, like, you know, try and get them. That game runs so well on here. Now, the only thing, yeah, so you can see right now, that's the Deep Silver logo. I do want to get rid of the HUD display. We're going to force enable native rendering. We are going to turn on super resolution. And I want to turn off FPS. But I think that might be coming from something else. So yeah. Oh, the big clock. So that's the thing. So that is one of the things, obviously, about the, the AYN Thor. It's a dual screen. This game runs DS games fantastically. I was like legitimately have been playing Chrono Trigger on DS, and have been loving it. Who would we do? There we go. So yeah, you can see right now. I know it's really hard to see because of the fucking glare. Hold on. Would it be better if I did that? Not really. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, you can see right there. If I move, which trigger is it? Oh yeah, there we go. So let me back out. We can move around. So yeah, you can see, works really well. Characters are able to move around. It's running at about 60 frames per second, which is, you know, what you kind of want it running at, because that's the maximum for this. And again, the Thor is a bit of a special case, because the beauty of this is on the bottom screen, if I'm playing something like Chrono Trigger, never played that game, and I want a guide to help me along with it, I can go to Chrome and go to GameFAQs and pull up a guide and just have it on the bottom screen. Or if I'm playing Skate in the morning, because it is just kind of my relaxing game, I can pull up I can just pull up a full-on YouTube video on the bottom and play my game at the same time. And it's fantastic. Like, this whole setup has enabled me to just, you know, I can still do my stuff. I can stream my computer to this, and I can watch YouTube, and I can be downstairs hanging out with my family. And if I throw on a pair of headphones, because it does have, unlike a lot of cell phones nowadays, a 3.5 millimeter jack. It also has Bluetooth. Obviously, all this thing really is just, you know, an Android phone with built-in controls and a second screen. But so I can hook it up via Bluetooth as well. But like, compared to the Retroid Flip 2, which I will admit, okay, one of the problems that I had with the one of the big problems that I had with the Flip 2 was here. Retroid Flip 2. Put that over here, and we'll do AYN Thor. So, obviously, other than one of them having a dual screen and one of them just being a single screen, one of the biggest differences for me is the spacing of the controls. Okay, so the AYN, or the Retroid has its controls far more diagonal to one another, whereas the AYN is just right on top of one another. Like the control cluster and the thumbsticks and the D-pad and the thumbstick are right on top of one another. And this is more similar to how the Nintendo DS was originally set up. Let me see here. New Nintendo 3DS XL. This was the last one that they made. Yeah. So you can see on here, just how like how it's like right on top of the controls. Now, the original 3DS XL had the little C stick right above the control cluster, versus the Thor having an actual like thumbstick. Now, I will admit, when I bought this, I had a coupon. I had a coupon code that allowed me to save if I bought the full accessory kit. So I did buy the Pro model, which has 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of memory, but I bought the accessories pack, which comes with a little lanyard, which, you got that right there. Super happy. It comes with a screen protector, a soft case, which that is what I use to take it to work with me. It's just a little, double cinch bag. It comes with a hard case, which is fantastic because of what it does. And it comes with a TPU shell, which is kind of like a bit of a see-through. It almost looks acrylic in a way, but it's a bit rubbery. But it also comes with this, which is a TPU grip. This is actually this is the one that I have. Okay. So this grip, I don't take off. Okay. Because as a guy with hands the way that mine are, playing with this, with like you trying to grip this, I could play this for a short period of time. It's not the end of the world. I could live with this, but it's not as comfortable as it could be. But, sorry, I have to fix something on there. There we go. But throwing this guy on here, which just slips right onto the bottom, is perfectly designed to fit around it. This added grip is just life-changing with this. It makes it feel more like an Xbox controller. It feels so much more comfortable. And sure, takes up a little bit more space, okay? It arguably does. Like, it takes up that much more space. Arguably, this is more portable. This, so much more comfortable. I can play games forever on this with this. Now, I will admit, I did buy a controller grip for my Flip 2, but it was really loose. It was 3D printed. It was not the most well-made. But one of the other problems that I didn't like about the Retroid is that it had symmetrical thumbsticks, meaning they're both on the top row. It's kind of a bit of a taboo because Xbox controllers have the D-pad below the left stick, and the right stick is below the button cluster. On PlayStation, the thumbsticks are symmetrical on the bottom. This, the Retroid, had them on top, which didn't feel right. But their argument was because it was mainly used to be a retro gaming device, which is why the button cluster is still in line with the D-pad, because that's what they intended you to use. It just didn't work. It didn't work well. And so because of that, it was very uncomfortable to play. So I didn't play it a lot, which is why I eventually sold it. But the Thor, that little extra to get the TPU grip directly from AYN was groundbreaking. And I'm so glad that I got that. I've yet to put a screen protector on. I actually have a matte black sticker coming in that is going to go across the bottom, because I will admit, everyone says it, The bottom screen is like glass and glossy and is a fingerprint magnet. Um, it just sucks that that is the case. But there's a guy who makes stuff on Etsy. His name is Sakura Retro Modding, and he has a bunch of different things that you can get, and one of those for the Thor, aside from really cool buttons that he custom makes, is a vinyl sticker that goes onto the bottom that makes it look more matte finish. So I like the way that this looks a lot more than the glass, like the all glass, just because it makes the screen stand out a bit more. But I'm not gonna lie, part of me also doesn't mind the fact that, like, when I just have the clock on the bottom, it does sort of just blend in with everything, which looks nice. So but yeah, also the only other thing that I kind of want to mention is that so the operating system, it's not even an operating system, it's a terrible thing to call it, because it's not really an operating system, it's just a front end, is the one that I'm using is called Trinket. Oh my god. I was so afraid I was going to damage my monitor. It's called Trinket, and again, it's supposed to look pixelated. It's supposed to be, you know, like, in a way, it's designed to feel more like a game console than anything. So, like, I have different things set up in different ways. But one of the cool things is you can set up your user account on it, and there's a thing to create little pixel art icons that's sort of built into it. And me being who I am, I went through and made my ghost icon. And I mean, it's not perfect, but you know, he's just a little guy. And so now in the top left of the screen, you can see there, it says Kelf, and I know I don't have the focus right. There it goes. You can see the little dude. He's just a little dude in the corner. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to sit and figure out the specifics that I needed with that. Yeah, like I said, I'm so happy with this thing, and like everything that I wanted with it is the case now. Like, you know, it allows me to like this morning. Okay, this morning's a perfect example. I get up, 10 o'clock. I go over to the bedroom and I get Kiva up, and we sit in bed usually and we watch Mitch Rachel, we watch Sesame Street, whatever show, we find on YouTube that's, children's education. And we just sit down, we watch it. And usually I'm sitting there doom scrolling, checking, YouTube shorts and TikTok and Instagram and stuff. Now, when I get up, I turn on my computer, I grab my Thor, I go over there. She can have her show. I can turn on YouTube on the bottom screen of the Thor. I can connect to my computer and I can pull up Skate. I can pull up Sephiria. I can pull up Dungeons of Infinity. I can pull up, whatever I want. And wham, bam, basil. It's good. You know what? I just had a fantastic idea. I just had a really fantastic idea. But yeah. Do 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 do. I had an idea, and that is that I can go up here to add game on play night. We're going to add manually, and we're going to call this capitalize it. There we go. Legend of Zelda Dungeons of Infinity. That'll be the same here. Platform is Windows. Is it Microsoft Windows? Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Of course. That makes sense. I wonder if there's a way to do this automatically. Oh, yeah. Something else I want to do. I want to play through Tunic, but I want to stream it. I haven't decided when. Tunic is kind of like a Zelda-esque game where you play as a little fox. And I've been wanting to play it. It's on Game Pass. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, Sworn is also a game I've been playing. It's basically Hades, but whatchamacallit, Arthurian legend. So it has like Merlin and stuff like that. I wonder. You know what? Let's fuck it. Let's just go back into here. PC. Here we go. Windows. That's what I want. Genre. This would be adventure. It's not turn-based. We'll just say adventure. We'll say arcade adventure. The developer, it's actually just a dude. I can't remember who. Yeah, it's like Portmaster or something like that. There we yeah, Justin Boheimer. What is going on? Oh, did my controller disconnect? What is happening? Okay, crazy. Everything just sort of stopped working properly for a minute there. I wonder if I can scan automatically. I know it's just in my download folder. So if I move this to my games folder. Oh, it's because it's actively open. I can't do that. So that's fine. We'll just do this. We'll just, yeah. Okay, here we go. Detect installed. These are just all the things that I have. I did not need to do that. Select folder. Thank you. Add game. Does it have metadata? Oh, it does. Sick. Oh, look at all that. It already has it all. That's fantastic. Okay. Ooh, look at that. I got an update for Play Night. That's whatever. But now, next time that I close this and reopen it, it will populate it in there. Also, why did Windhawk stop working? It's been doing that. Yeah, I know that. There's a program called Windhawk. What it does is it adds a certain it adds like abilities and stuff, like alterations to Windows, like, you know, how quickly the taskbar auto hides and how smooth is it and how you control your volume and stuff. Like the bottom of my screen, I don't want all my icons all the time. So I have the auto hide, but I also don't like how the normal bar looks. So I have this one down there, and you can change that. Like in here, like the start menu, you know, I have a very specific look for it. And the taskbar, you can go in and change how those look. And again, I have very specific ones that I like. Like you can change them. It's very easy to go in and change them if you want, like the simple transparent one so that there's nothing down there. You know, it's really nice. But sometimes just stops working. All right. Let's that's enough. It's enough ramble bamble. I need to close out a bunch of other tabs there. There we go. All right. Let's go. Let's see how far we can get, and then we're gonna call it a night. I will admit, I'm not good at Zelda games. Castle basement. No, I didn't mean to press that. Oh well. Oh, good. What does that do? Find one of Zora's pawns to trade for items. Interesting. Okay. Again, did not mean to press the X button. Definitely meant to press A to just swing my sword. Son of a bitch. Even though it wasn't. Well, I mean, it sort of tangentially was, actually. Like me trying out oh my god, stop pressing that button. I'm out of bombs now. I'm so dumb. I mean, arguably me playing Rogue Fable was tangential to me. What is that? Oh, cool. Was sort of the reason, you know, like, the only reason why I found Rogue Fable was because of the Thor. Because, like, I wanted to find or make a game. Like, I literally was asking ChatGPT, like, hey, how would I take Dungeons of Infinity and add, like, characters that have different class abilities? You know, and it's like, you know, could I mod, you know, a different game to do something like that? And that's whenever it was like, hey, you know, Rogue Fable's a thing. And I'm like, huh? Oh my God. So many snakes. I actually think, no, these aren't keys. I want to say the bats are called keys. Well, so funny enough, like I have more experience in video game development than I actually do in web development, because I took a class on video game development, and I have also I've also done some modding stuff in the past. So like I actually know some video game things, but it's very limited. I'm gonna die. I don't have any of the other things, that's right. Come on, I need hearts. 75 rupees. Ooh, wait. Nope, that was on the wall. It was on the high wall. Oh my God, I need a heart. Hey, what are you selling? You're selling a big old cookie up there. What is this? Is it here? Oh, I didn't mean to buy it, but I think it's going to restore hit points. Yeah. What is this? Oh, wow. No, I don't think I am. I don't know if there's going to be another shop with like a steel sword, because I kind of want the steel sword more. Ooh, are you a witch? Because I think I'm a witch. Ha! Oh my God, that was fucking amazing. It's like, oh, you look like a witch. Are you a witch? They locked me up because they think I'm a witch. That was fantastic. Hey, I know him. It's Error. Oh God. Fuck you. Fuck you. This is gonna be the end of my run. I knew it. I knew it. I didn't have it in me. Oh well, 'tis life. We've been streaming for 2 hours. All right, folks. That is gonna be it for me. I just want to say thanks for hanging out, letting me ramble on for a little while about the Thor, about Rogue Fable, you know, Dungeons of Infinity, these games I've been, you know, trying to enjoy and get into a little bit more. So if you are wanting to come back tomorrow and hang out 10:30 p.m., you can join me as we play these 3 games tomorrow: Heroes of Loot, Space Grunts 2, and Gunslugs, as we will be playing them for the first 15, the start of the GOG games, good old games. So come back and join me then if you would like to. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Enjoy your Thursday. Have a wonderful day. Peace out. Go tell your friends and family you love them. Bye.